Hello.
Hello.
So this is the first of our special episodes. This is our beer episode.
Very special. Go.
Oh, that fizzed really well.
Fizzed really well.
Yeah.
So this is a Cooper's Real Ale, believe it or not. So it's been, we'll just go there. It's been in the fridge for a while and it's been in the box for a bit longer, and it's the end of what you will see of some of the footage. So we've got an Irish Stout, which was a different brand. It wasn't our normal, but anyway, that one's being done. And the Cooper's Real Ale, so we've got a number of bottles up stored.
Okay.
So what you'll see in this little special is from go to woe, from a syrup in the tin, all the way through to drinking out the glass.
Okay. Top 3 points that you're going to give any beginner making their first beer.
Drink slowly, because it can carry a kick, depending on how much sugar you put in it. Oh, not that sort of tip. Top 3 tips. I actually, at the end of the process, when I empty a bottle, when you buy them new, they're not too bad. You just really need to sterilize them, sterilize and rinse. But when you have been brewing, the residual in the bottom, so rinse them out and wash them straight away. It saves you a heck of a lot of trouble with a bottle washer trying to clean the bottles out as they're going through. That's that one. Sterilized, really well sterilized. Make sure, depending on where you are, being in regional Queensland, we have a couple of the local shops sell bits and pieces, but we don't have a home brew shop that specializes in it. And a couple of the shops that have sell bits and pieces have stopped. So buying sterilizer, would you believe, has got really hard. And when we broke the hydrometer, which I did at one point, it fell off the bench, and that was the end of that. So make sure you've got all your bits and pieces before you start, and somewhere where you can stretch out, spread out, clean it all up, and then
make a big mess.
So we've started on the
Studio.
Studio now, the shack, the studio. So the actual brewing happens up there, but there's no running water, so I have to sterilize but I have to sterilize and wash in the laundry sink.
And I'm being attacked by a Winston.
And a puppy. And you have to watch that some of your sterilizers, because the laundry sink's metal, and it's the same people who do baby bottles and other sorts of sterilizers. Just make sure your sterilizer is compatible and it doesn't go wobbly if you're doing it in a metal sink or a metal container. Anyway, enjoy. I hope your home brewing is good, and enjoy the fruits of your bottling. Okay,
we'll be back towards the end of the episode.
Okie dokie, I'm about to make some brew. I've got 15 bottles left of the last lot, so this is when I start to get the next one going, so it lasts me a fair while. We bought this at our local Mitre 10, Irish Stout, so it's something a little bit different. Haven't tried this brand before, and this is very different from me. Pure malt extract, liquid one, so we'll try that. So I've just sterilized it all with with the sterilizing powder. It's the kit. I've got my little shelves all made up. I've got my jugs, got the urn ready to make the hot water. So this needs to sit and stand for an hour. So sterilize the spoon, the hydrometer. So the keg is sterilized, the seal's sterilized, the little airlock sterilized. So this is all the bits for the first stage, and we will come back soon showing you the magic of television after an hour of sitting. Alright, we've been an hour, or just over. Urn's going over there, and I've just emptied the can of Irish Stout mix into the keg. So it's sitting on the bottom. So the next bit we'll add, which is going to be pretty natty because we've never used liquid before, the liquid malt extract, and then according to the back of the can, it calls for 2 litres of boiling water. Ta-da! This one's got its instructions on the back of the can. I got the original instructions that I got with the Brigalow kit, and then some of them have like a little paper instructions under the lid. So yeah, So what we will do is when we have our boiling water, we will pop him up. We will fill, we will fill the can up with the hot water, and that'll help the material that's left in there get more fluid, and we'll tip him in. The dreaded oven mitts, I know I've said this before, but there's a good set of old oven mitts. Very, very handy for picking up the very hot can when you put the hot water in it. So we'll make it up to the 23, 21, 22, 23 litre mark on the keg, and we'll have a little bit more shortly. Okay, the kettle's still going, and this is pretty cool. Okay, we'll get this. We'll go and start tipping her in. So that's pure liquid malt extract. .2 kilogram of it, believe it or not. Now you can see the difference in the can using the hot water. I've just put 2 litres of hot water in the mix, and now with our trusty spoon we're going to stir it all up. Okay, now comes the time for the yeast. We've got our fermenter up to, I don't know if you can see it, 3 litres according to the can. It's to be 23 litres made up of water. So she's full. We sprinkle the yeast on top, seal it. I always put a little bit of water on the O-ring before I seal the lid, and then fill up the airlock with a bit of water, and off we go. That's the yeast on top of the brew. Now interesting, on the back of this can it says stir well. Now all the others I've got, including the old Brigalow one, which I've used from the first day that we started brewing many years ago. Boiling slow, signs formation for 18 curves. This is a slightly different mix of sprinkle the content of slightly different mix of water to boiling water and to brew. Sprinkle the contents of the yeast sachet over the surface of the brew, provided the water temperature is below 35 degrees, which we are. So I've never stirred the yeast in, so I'm just going to leave it on the top and let it do its magic thing. And the last piece of the puzzle, the airlock's on, and I've got it sealed. Got water in there. It's a bit hard to see with white on white, but yeah, she's all done. So she'll sit for 5-7 days, and hopefully next Sunday we'll start bottling. Through the magic of the internet, it is a week later, and guess what I'm doing? I've just washed and now airing 30 bottles. Well, actually I do 32, so I always do a little bit extra in case. Sometimes it's funny how the brew mixes up. Should be about 30 bottles out of this batch, but also the last 1 or 2 can be quite sedimentary. A bit hard to see, but I've got them in their boxes of 15. I use nowadays, that's got very blurry. I use the reusable Cooper's bottles, 740. I got 2 beer glasses, and they take 2 good solid beer glasses per bottle, which is just really neat. I am in the laundry. I used the last of my sodium metabolism flight, which I pronounced that terribly badly, with the sterilizer powder. So this just needs them to sit for an hour, and then we'll do the bottling. So I've previously sterilized the hydrometer. I've done the bottles and the caps, the little pourer that fits into the keg, and so in an hour's time we'll be ready to bottle. It's just been over an hour and the bottles are now sterile, and so now we're doing the big bottle. I'm just taking the lid off, badly one-handed, oops. Trap for young players, be it a towel or something. We got old nappies from when the girls were little, and we use those to bottle on. And I'm just checking it's still a bit frothy. Okay, I'll go and check out what its reading is. Okay, we've got everything sterilised, the brew's ready. I've got the bottles all sterilised, and I'm just about to start pouring. So we will show a couple of pickies once we've got a few in the bottle. Okay, I've turned the tap on and I've started, so the tap's on. So I've started, so this little doohickey pourer has got the little valve at the bottom. Actually makes it a lot easier because as you push against the base of the bottle, it opens up the valve and lets the brew in, and then take the bottle away and it magically stops. Always have an old, I use an old nappy or an old towel, catch the drips off your floor. As we're bottling, I drop 2 of the carbonation drops into the bottle to give it its fizz. So generally read the instructions. We've used Cooper's and Mangrove Jack. This is the first time I've used Mangrove Jack. Trying to keep this one all the same as the brand of the base material that we bought. But yeah, so generally, and it gives it its fizz and head when you pour the drink. And there's our first box of 15. So I'll put them on the shelf so they stay in a cool, reasonable space. Don't, with the carbonation drops, it'll take a couple of weeks for them to hit their fizz. The longer you leave them, the better they are. But yeah, first one, if you want to give it a try, 2 weeks after the event of bottling. And hey presto, that's the end of beer making. The keg, I've got the other box to do. We'll finish the keg off. I've got, you can see the sediment inside, and there'll be sediment in the base. I generally take it outside and scrub it. I use the hose. I don't really have a laundry up where I am at the minute. I take the bottles down and sterilise in the house laundry. It just gives me more volume. But yeah, so that's our bottling journey, and 2 weeks time we'll give one a taste. Now here's an interesting fun fact. All but to the end of the brewing, I got basically 1 bottle left out of the 30, and the packet of carbonation drops has only got 1 drop left in it. So just a handy little hint, I always keep spares. As you can see, I got 1 full packet and a half packet from the last time I bottled, so that if you get to this point, there's I'm not sure how well you can see it, but the keg is just down to the tap now, so we'll fill that bottle up. I carry always sterilize 2 extra bottles just in case, and I know you should be able to work it out in liquid and fluid, but just with leaving the little gap and sometimes the different volume the brews make, I always have 2 spare bottles sterilised just in case I need them, and always have spare carbonation drops because of this fact that I've just run out. So that was a brand new packet and it doesn't quite do 30 bottles. So isn't that interesting? The other thing is the good old recycle reuse. Old Makona jars, I store a lot of my stuff in old Makona jars. Clean them up, clean the label off of them, and they're good airtight and keeps any of the ants and bugs out. When bottling, always leave a little gap at the top. For the carbonation drops, it's like a little secondary brewing inside, so it builds up a bit of pressure, hence the fizz when you open the cap. So always leave a small gap at the top of the bottle. 2 weeks later, and this is the Irish Stout. Now these one that I'm about to open this afternoon was the extra. So I often said I sterilised 2 extra bottles. So we had our 30. So this was the very bottom of the keg. So it's generally a little bit more sedimentary. It's probably not the best of the batch. And it's just on the 2 weeks since it went into the bottle. So we'll see how it's gone. But yeah, anyway, we're at this point now. Don't lay them over because of the sediment. They don't go so good. So oh, we had a fizz as we opened it. Let's see what we've got. Now the head probably won't be as good, as I said, because it's just literally just the 2 weeks in the bottle. So yeah, so if you can bear with me and have a nice look at the limes and passion fruit sitting on the bench. Tastes like stout. So a bit sweeter than what we would normally, the Cooper's stout. Anyway, so there you go. So as I said, I didn't expect much of a head. It did fizz, but given it's just on the 2 weeks in the bottle, it takes a bit. The longer you leave it, the better it'll be. So don't lay it down in the fridge when you're cooling it, because there'll be a fair bit of sediment in the bottom of this one, because it was one of the last ones to come out of the keg.
Well, we hope you found the episode informative. Just be very slow. It kind of fell over, so yeah, it's got a good fizz. Oh, yeah, it's starting to.
Oh, got a seriously good head.
So we hope you found something useful in it. This is Mark's process, really. It's not mine. But yeah.
Enjoy. Cheers, and
we'll see you
happy
in the
home brewing.
And we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
See ya. And just like that, it's the end of another episode. We hope you enjoyed it. If you found something useful in it, please feel free to like this video. You can also comment down below. We do love to talk to subscribers. If you found something useful, or you think you've got a friend who might find it useful, please feel free to share this video with them. And of course, as always, you can subscribe to our channel, and that way you'll never miss out on what we're getting up to here at Stormhaven.